And we're like, you know, let's get to an educator, someone who uses it, someone who's with us from a Cisco perspective, and just let you guys see it. We brought a few different versions of how we were going to set up video today. It ended up being a smaller unit. This is one of our desktop units, but we wanted you to actually see the things that we're talking about. You can ask questions. You can ask us to change, hey, move this, try that, versus let me just giving you some white paper and saying, hey, we have a product that can fit that need.
So this interactive board, I just want to ask a quick question to start with, because one of the things that's important to instruction is the touch, and it can't be just one touch, but maybe multiple touches. So that's an important feature that, I mean, I don't know, is this about the camera, about a board, or?
We want to show you all of that.
Okay,
everything that you just asked
I'll just
for.
be quiet and watch.
No.
We really needed interaction. We just want to make sure we're hitting on the points.
I think you're headed in the right direction.
Yeah. And, okay, so Lance, I know we have a limited amount of time too, so I was hoping you could introduce yourself, a little bit about your background, and then we can kind of get started.
As long as at dinner time, you call me. That's the important. Okay. What I get to do for Cisco is work with educators, and I mean that in the broadest sense of the word. K-12, yes. Higher ed, I just disconnected from that college in Canada. Corporate trainers, I've been working with Florida Gas and Power Association. Government officials, got the National Park Service. That's an exciting group to work with. They all are delivering content via video. And they're doing it in a variety of ways. They're doing it synchronously, they're doing it asynchronously. And that's what I'm working with them on. As a classroom teacher, right, it's really a matter of how do you level those four walls and bring in and out the resources you want to engage those students. Can you guys see that Google Earth image okay?
Yes.
Okay, that is where you are connected to. I'm in Howe, Oklahoma. Population less than 1,000 as of the 2010 census. That is the entire community. There are this many streets and this many stoplights. Okay? I'm actually embedded in a public school. I was a technology coordinator / teacher / ball game announcer, bus driver, toilet plunger, bricklayer. You name it, in a small school you do it, right? That's just the way things roll. For 8 years of my life. Now I am still here. In fact, I've been working with superintendent off and on all day today on a call manager project. But I'm doing what I do for Cisco via video. I am standing in that red roof building right there. This is the softball diamond / playground outside my door. And there's a door into here. So if it gets loud and rowdy, I'm sorry. God only knows what you're going to hear off camera. Okay? High school, middle school, admin office, gymnasium, upper lower elementary, cafeteria, and the most important building on campus right there, that is the ag barn, right dead center. This is not a highway, it's actually a railroad track, and the reason I'm pointing it out is because it's only a half block away. When and if the train comes through, you're going to hear it, and it's going to sound like it's coming through that door, and I am so sorry. Okay, there's nothing I can do about it. The other thing that I want to tell you real quick as we're getting started here is my wife is the part-time gifted and talented coordinator, part-time library media specialist here on campus. Her classroom is on the other side of this door. And it doesn't sound like she's got her fifth graders still with her, but they are going to get loud and rowdy. In fact, they're getting ready for a regional quiz bowl coming up this weekend. So I just never know what people are hearing off camera. So I'm just telling you, no one is dying. It's a public school. Well, maybe somebody. But anyway. For us, it really is a matter of repurposing and rocking what we've got. Now, before I go any further, let me say that just because we do things a certain way doesn't make it right. Okay? It makes it the way it works for us. My interactive display board is an 8070 smart board with an ultra short throw projector. When I am not in a video call with you all, it's my PC full screen. But when I am in a video call, there you are in 85 inches of living color. Okay? Now, when I go to bring up my PC, your image gets small. It's still here, but it's up here at the top. And that means that my PC image is down here. I still, as you've already seen, won't be able to do all the annotation and stuff like that, right? But in this particular layout, I'm going to turn on the light for a second. In this particular layout, the crazy thing is somebody in this classroom is going to go, Mr. Ford, Dr. Ford, I can't see the remote side very well. Make them bigger. Well, when we change the layout, and it's a one-button push to change it, your image just got bigger, my PC image just got smaller, but my board got recalibrated. which means that it doesn't matter where that PC image is, even if it's full screen, I still have the ability to do my annotations, right? There is actually a little Cisco tool that is recalibrating my board on the fly. And for me, that's kind of the marriage point between my annotation, my electronic whiteboard, and my interactive video tool. And I know that you didn't even mention interactivity in the video process. You mentioned just being able to record stuff, which we'll look at here in a second. But I did want to show you how those things kind of play together. Bless you.
Thank you.
Any questions so far about any of this?
Is this interactive board, is it a wireless board or is it hard cable?
Good question. So the image that is going to that board right now is hard cabled. Everything in my space and my wife's space and about 60% of the classrooms here flows back through the device that is making this connection happen. So it is the hub of all multimedia in my space. I use the same device to show this guy, or my iPad, because it's all coming to that one location. That gives me the ability to broadcast out, it gives me the ability to live stream, it gives me the ability to record, whatever I want to do. But yes, sir, that is physically a hardwired video image.
Okay.
And you said that was a short throw, right?
Yes, ma'am. Let me zip back over here real quick, and maybe this will help just a tad. Can you? No, that didn't help. That hurt. They pulled that up. There's the projector right there.
So do you have a solution that doesn't require a projector?
So yes, in the other room at the other, yeah, the kids are still down there. We have a collaboration space on the other end of the front porch that the students do live broadcasts out of on a weekly basis, and we teach a Final Cut Pro class here on campus and all kinds of crazy fun stuff. But anyway, story for another day. They are down there right now. There is an 8070i smart board that is the actual plasma, 70-inch plasma screen that will do the same thing.
Okay,
Have you looked into eBeam as well?
No.
eBeam, the integration piece that you can take like a flat screen monitor and make it an interactive whiteboard?
No.
Okay. We can add that piece then as well. Sorry to interrupt, Lance.
Okay.
I know
No. This is
And
what
we
this
do-
is about.
We
Go ahead.
did see we have right now, trial and error over in my area, the smart board you just mentioned, the 8070i, we have that one.
Yes.
And that's kind of the direction we were headed, that kind of a device.
Well, when you said the multi-touch, right, then I'm not saying that Smart is the only tactile product out there. Okay, I got that.
Right.
It's just what I cut my teeth on, and we just use it.
Right.
Right. So that was where my mind was going with that multi-touch and what you were trying to do. But yeah, and I'm sorry I don't have it in this room. I need to get a different one. That one's been hanging there for 7 or 8 years now. Just kind of keep using it until it dies.
I guess the function that you were just doing with the toggling back and forth is still, it would work the same way on that other board, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Let's look at it for just a second, because I'm in full disclosure. I want you to know exactly what's going on off behind the wall, so to speak. There's a small black box from Cisco, about the size of my hand. It is not sexy to look at like me, okay? It's very functional. Again, like me. Okay, so here it is. It's tucked in behind my electronic whiteboard. You can see that it is the conjoining point for 3 technologies in my space. And those technologies are the devices connecting us today, the codec, the USB-B for my laptop, and the USB-A for my touch panel. But once I power that up, it basically synchronizes all of those together. Thus, it is called sync. And that's the tool that's making all this stuff, recalibration and all that happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, you're very welcome. And again, just in full disclosure, there are ways around using a tool like that if you still want interactive video. That some of the layouts need to be changed and predefined, but I just want it to work, right? I don't want to have spit and rubber bands holding stuff together. I need it to just work for the teachers. I don't want them to have plan B every time they go to use something.
Can you talk about how this technology is being used in some of your classrooms instructionally?
Absolutely. So one of the ways we use the tool is like you had just mentioned, the capability and the ability to in real time say, hey, that's a teachable moment. Let's record some of this content and let's get it out for a variety of reasons. I mean, we use, in what I do now in teaching teachers, I record the teachable moments of our engagements together. And again, just full disclosure, my teachers are usually the ones who say, hey, are you recording this? Hey, can you record this? Because we talked about it at lunch and we need to show so-and-so. Okay? So I bring in recording as necessary. I do not record everything that I do simply because no one, myself included, wants to go back and watch it. All right? So recording those teachable moments so that when student X gets home tonight, sitting around the dining room table, maybe in front of the tube with mom and dad watching the Olympics, somebody says, well, what'd you do at school today? The response to that is, nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody knows that's not true, but we're hard-pressed as parents to figure out what it was. So my son, in my wife's classroom, and a bunch of his compadres are working on First Lego League. And state competition is also this weekend in Edmond. So as they're doing cool stuff, my wife is just recording that, sending it out. The links are going out in an automated fashion. Parents can log in and watch if they'd like to see what actually happened in school today. So it's that kind of an engagement. I've got some teachers beginning to dive into flipped or inverted learning with the recording process. And for me personally in teaching, it really is not about what you can regurgitate with TF, multiple guests, fill in the blank. It's really about show me that you can do it. So regardless of what tool you use to show that to me, recording content is huge as a part of that. We use this tool for synchronous classes, broadcasting basketball games, special guest speakers, alumni, professional development, PLCs. Got a training going on today with the Oklahoma State Department of Ed via video in one of our classrooms. So there's a whole lot of ways we use it, but that kind of gets you started.
Do you use it for security purposes?
Today, we do not use it for security purposes, and that's one of the things that the superintendent and I have really been talking about is the tie-in together of all this, because it's only as of late that all of those tools really talk to each other, right? I mean, I'm in a nice classroom, outfitted to the max, but just because you're not doesn't mean we shouldn't be able to connect. And so it hasn't been until recently that what I'm about to show you is actually this easy. I'm going to bring up my iPad again. You guys see my iPad okay?
Yes.
Okay. So all of the infrastructure now talks to each other. From a Cisco perspective, it's really not, well, I say that, John's going to be mad at me. It's not always about the bright shiny. It's about the power that's under the hood, the things that are tying things together. So in the back end of the network is where all of this stuff kind of gets put together. Whether it is the video client on my iPad that allows me to say, hey, I want to be able to join straight away in here using my iPad, and that's what I'm doing. I'm calling into my space using the iPad. That iPad will also turn around, and John, I had to move my phone over here because I was just getting hammered. That iPad will also call straight away into my phone. So if I do this, that phone's ringing right this second. Let's answer it. That particular phone has a little camera on top of it right there. So everything that's happening in this call is going to that screen, and that camera is broadcasting it all back. Like I said, it's only as of late that all this stuff can actually happen together. So we're not quite there with security yet on this campus, but that's where we're going. And that was TMI. Sorry about that.
No, I mean, that's exactly what we wanted to know. So I think if I heard you correctly, this is, for security, is certainly something that you're looking at for the future.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. We have, don't anyone come attack us. We have minimal security right this second because of, it's small town America.
I don't think
know
anyone's
what else
going to
say.
howl.
I know that's one of those. Now, there's sheep on campus. So it's kind of an interesting place to be in the evolution of our culture, I guess, or de-evolution. Conversation for another day.
Okay.
We'll talk about this.
I know we're going to be asking for cost. Is there anything that you can share with us in terms of what to prepare for infrastructure-wise?
So our backplane is switched gig to the desktop. It's multi-gig between buildings, and it's fiber. Now, again, you saw how small we are, so I don't have to run across town with leased lines. I don't have 4 or 5 high schools. I don't have any of those kinds of issues. I am blessed, fortunate, lucky, depending on your worldview, to be attached to the state of Oklahoma. OneNet is our state service provider here. And so I actually have, my internet access comes through them, and I have 100 meg pipe to them. All of those things that I just mentioned were funded via E-rate or some combination of grant and local funding. The way we found those grants was with the help of the Cisco Grant Services team. Our total bonding capacity here on campus, if we're 100% bonded in, and I have no idea what you're about to go for in your bond, but you're going to laugh, is $325,000 if we're 100% bonded in. Okay? I can't put a roof on a high school across the street for that. So my superintendent's perspective on it is, look, if you want me to do something, you're going to have to find a pot of money that where our dollars become leveraging dollars. And don't ask me to spend $1 unless you got $1 from somewhere else to match it. That was kind of the mantra I was brought in under. So it was incumbent on me to find entities like the Cisco Grant Services team, like Cisco Capital, you know, a bunch of different folks, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, OK Act grant, schools and libraries, Libraries for the Future grant. I mean, we've gone after them all, and we've been blessed again to be able to receive them. And I'm fortunate to have a leadership team that allows us to do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Thank you. Becky, do you have any
You're
other?
very welcome.
No,
I think you've answered our questions.
I think I've got a good picture.
All right. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it.
Real quick before we go, Dr. Ford, can you show them you recorded a little bit earlier? At least show them one of the things we talked about was
Yeah.
recording, where that went and what
Right.
he actually does with that. Real
Okay.
quick.
Absolutely no problem at all. In fact, let me take my iPad down. All right.
Oh, I do have one
So-
quick question. Wait.
Go ahead, Becky.
I do have one quick question. You mentioned the iPad, and you may have said this and I just missed it because I was trying to find out why I couldn't connect my own device over here. Is it just the iPad, or any device could connect to this? Because
Good
we
question.
have Windows 8 tablets, we have Android tablets, we have laptops, we have possibility of Chromebooks. I mean, there's all kinds of things that. And what I envision is that a student would be able to share their work with that large monitor. And I'm
Absolutely.
so I just want to know if it would work that way.
So sharing content back to the monitor is not a problem. Connecting almost all of those devices via synchronous video is not a problem. I'm going to let John, after I hang up, elaborate on. I mean, the only question I have in the back of my mind, John, the list that she just gave me is the Chromebook.
Yeah.
But everything else, Windows 8, Windows, iPads, laptops, Mac, we're good there. Yes, help me, bro.
You are. So you are correct too. And again, for us, I mean, since we're dedicated just to education, this is one of the things we're pushing for. I'm gonna hit on a few things, Lance, with the interactive whiteboards, eBeam, and some of the newer things that we're working out in San Jose. But the big thing you need to know is Cisco, we're not protecting an operating system like Microsoft. We're agnostic to the device. So we actually embrace all of that. So Android, iPad, whatever anyone's using, we want to do that. Typically what our software updates come out is whatever the most popular endpoint is at that time.
Okay.
So it used to be Windows, now it was Apple, now it's Android. So we'll do a rollout for that, but we will look to support it. The only thing I think that is kind of dropped down is BlackBerries.
Yeah,
Other than
I think
that.
so.
Yeah.
Good, and those are, I'm living the dream. I'm in it all day, every day, and I'm with you. I kind of know what I have, and my questions are: does my stuff connect? And we're an Apple school. Doesn't make it right or wrong, just because of some of the multimedia craziness that we do. All of those things, that's how we've produced it. So all of my Apple devices are rock solid. I don't have any problems with any of those. In fact, That's one of the things I wanted to show you real quick was the recording we made just a few minutes ago is now actually downloaded from iTunes into my iTunes library locally on my hard drive. Cisco's recording mechanism, because of the mantra on the importance of the network, sits in the network. So all the recording, the storage for that recording, the transcoding of that recording, all happens not on a box locally in a room, but in the network. That allows the automation of content to be propelled to a variety of portals. Taught a graduate course adjunct for the University of Maine for 3 years of my life, and all of those teachers in that state, pre-K to 12, MacBook, iBook, MacBook Pro, MacBook Air. So it was incumbent on me to be able to shoot it out to them into their iTunes library. That's one of the places it goes. Another place that it goes, let me bring up my learning management system here just real quick. I use Moodle as my learning management system. Again, it doesn't make it right, it doesn't make it wrong. It's where I started, and it hasn't fallen short for me on anything yet. So I'm sticking with it. When I'm teaching live via synchronous video, I have all the participants at the remote site do exactly what you did, Becky. Get out those devices, get online, let's get logged into the LMS.